Okay, so I am going to be hosting a crowd sale for my lunar ritual deck that I made. I called it Mysteria Luna. This is the only copy in existence as of now, which is pretty cool. It's a ritual deck of Moonspells for the Dark Feminine. And so like the box has all this pretty art all the way around. And it's going to come with a bunch of cards. This is not a tarot deck though, this is different. But you've got all this artwork that's the same on all the backs, and then on the front, it's gonna be different. And what it is it's a ritual card deck to be used daily with the moon cycles. So like day 1 is gonna be the new moon. And so on every card, you're gonna have the day, you're gonna have the moon phase, you're gonna have what element it's under, and you're gonna have a mantra and then a symbolic image. Now this is gonna be different for every day. So like here's day 11, there's air, it's a waxing gibbous. You can see the mantra and the art. There's a little bit of a glare from my sunroom. Here's one from fire. And then towards the end, you're gonna have water. And then after day 29, because I have 29 cards that have the day and all of that stuff, then you're gonna have your aether card, which is like your in-between, your void card. Since the lunar cycle is more like 29 and a half days, so it's like your half day card. And then there's also an anchor card for the 4 main elements, earth, air, fire, and water. So the way that this deck is intended to be used, because it comes with this huge booklet, and this is where most of the cost goes, honestly, is for this booklet. It's huge, it's over 150 pages. I've got like a little description on the back, and then it's got the same album cover or front cover as the box. So what it's got in here is a whole bunch of different things. There's a welcome message, an invocation, how to use the deck, aligning with the moon cycles, elemental connections explained, crystal companions explained, moon rituals, trusting the path and understanding the cards, going into symbolism, elemental energies, introduction to the lunar phases. Like there's so much introductory stuff in here. And then later on in the book, once you get past the card directory, is where you're gonna get into like the nitty-gritty stuff. So every single day is going to have a theme, and it's going to have a mantra. And then when you go into the go deeper section, you're also gonna have a ritual for the day. So you'll have a ritual, and most of the rituals can be done in 30 seconds to about 5 minutes. I think there's a couple, there's one specifically I'm thinking of where it has you practice stillness for 15 minutes, where you're just laying there, eyes closed, doing nothing for 15 minutes. But for the most part, it's really simple, quick, easy stuff that you can do that will help to solidify the energy and the mantra that goes for that day of the moon cycle. And so then in the go deeper after the ritual and the mantra, it's going to give you the moon phase meaning for the day. It's going to give you an elemental connection. So like the first, I think it's day 1 is the new moon, and that goes from water to earth. And then you have earth cards all the way through the first quarter. Then it's on the first quarter, it's earth to air. And then you have air until the full moon, and then the full moon is going to be air to fire, and then fire all the way to last quarter. Last quarter is going to be fire to water, and then water is all the way through ether to the new moon when it switches back to earth. So you have all 4 elements, so that there's an elemental connection just depending on what phase of the moon cycle you're in, and then for that exact day, how to connect with the elemental energies. It'll explain the symbolism on the card, and it also will give you a crystal companion for every day. Now, every part of the moon phase will have a different crystal companion. So like new moon, full moon, last quarter, and first quarter will all have a special crystal that's just for that one day. And then all the transition phases, so like waxing and waning gibbous, waxing and waning crescent, each of those will also have a crystal companion. So like for earth, in between new moon and first quarter, there's going to be a specific crystal for those days, for the earth cycle days. So that you can use the crystal as like an additional anchor to help hold the energy. So with the cards, you're going to have 1 card per day. So like if it's day 1 and it's the new moon, How you want to use these cards is up to you, but I intended for it to be like a little visual that you can put on your altar or put on your fridge for the day, maybe even carry it around in your wallet or your purse for the day to remember like the mantra and like the energy that should be with that day. You could potentially like shuffle up the deck and then just choose a random card and use it in the sense of like, this is the energy I need to be focusing on right now. But it's really ultimately going to be how you want to use it. But my intended purpose was that there's one card for every day. And then if you want to spend more time more deeply anchored in and rooted in with the 4 main elements, is you can then have the additional card on your altar or to sit and meditate with it. However you want to use it is really up to you. But the booklet is where the most important stuff is, because it's going to help you to be more deeply connected with the moon, with your menstrual cycles, with nature in general, because as women, we are very spiritual nature beings. And so having something like this where every single day there's a small little ritual you can do, there's a mantra, there's a theme to help you tap into the energy and be more in sync with the cycles of the moon and therefore more in sync with yourself. There's all sorts of different themes in here. There's stuff about acknowledging the truth, even if it shakes up everything you believe in. There's stuff about forgiveness and dissolving away into the ether, into the void, and becoming nothing and being in the in-between. There's stuff about being rooted, and there's things about planting seeds for manifestation. There's speaking things into existence. There's burning away false beliefs. There's things like acknowledging that you are the light. Lots of really powerful themes and information in here, and I feel like this is something that all women could benefit from. Again, it's not a tarot deck. It's just meant to be like a quick little thing you can do every day to help you to be more connected with yourself and with nature and the moon. So the crowd sale will run for 1 month starting on 11/11 and go until December 11th, because the website that I use to create this will only do up to a month at a time, but they only do the crowd sale once. So after this crowd sale is over, it will be at a set price. I only make about $2.80 per box at the regular price. The more people that sign up and order through the crowd sale, the cheaper it will be for you. So you don't actually pay until the end of the crowd sale. There is like an initial sales price. I think I have it set to like $5 or $10 off. I'd have to go double check of the MSRP price. And so what will happen is, even if only one person were to buy from the crowd sale, that person will get it at that sale price no matter what. But the more people that buy it through the crowd sale, the cheaper it will end up being for you, which is pretty cool. So like if 100 people decide that they want to buy this deck, it's going to cost you like $15 less than the regular price if you were to just go buy it right now, which you can go buy it right now if you really want to and you don't want to wait. Because the company I'm using, I'm not published or anything. That's a lot of money that I just don't have accessible right now. So the company I'm using is called Game Crafter, and so for me to get this printed is a little bit more than $50 plus the shipping that I had to pay to get it to me, because they do a print on demand. So with the crowd sale, because they wait to print and they wait to charge you until the sale is over, the price that you're going to pay is going to end up being less than if you were to just buy one and have them print it for you immediately. It does mean potentially having to wait to get this shipped until after December 11th, but it would get to you in time for Christmas if you wanted to be giving this as like a Christmas gift to somebody. I think that this is definitely something that anyone who is wanting to be more in tune with nature and dark feminine energy and just like better understanding what that even means to be dark feminine or into your divine feminine, what it means to dissolve into the ether, into the void, to be in the in-between, what it means to be a portal as a woman. Like, it's all in there, and it's really awesome, and I'm really excited to share it and to sell it and to have this accessible to everyone. So if you're interested, please sign up for the crowd sale starting November 11th. and share it with all of your friends, because the more people that sign up to buy it, the cheaper it'll be for you.